Wonka has very quietly just sneakily gone on and made a lot of money at the box office, which kind of raises the question, because in Hollywood, big money usually equals sequel. Could that happen here? And that is the topic of today's Mint Mobile hotline question of the day. Listen, guys, if you got a topic for the show and you'd like to hear your voice on our show, go ahead and call it in anytime 24/7 to our hotline at 951-268-4259. And today's question is specifically about Wonka. Check it out.
Hey, John and crew, this is James from Tennessee calling. So I'm curious, with the success that Wonka has had, do you think there will be a sequel? And more importantly, I had a theory. Willy Wonka seems like the kind of guy who would be okay with having a multiple choice past, kind of like the Joker. Do you think if they do a sequel, maybe it's just an anthology of like different kids' theories of like what Wonka's origin story actually is because he is such a mystery? Again, just an idea. What do you guys think? Thanks, and keep bringing the filthy.
All right, James, thanks a lot for calling that in. Let me address the second part of your question, though. I don't see them doing a Joker kind of thing where one story he's got this origin and the next story he's got a different origin and he's constantly telling different stories. I've never gotten that feeling that this is that type of character. So I'm going to put that aside and say, no, I don't think they'd do something like that if they made another one. But has it made enough to justify doing a sequel? Well, like I said, very quietly, Wonka has gone on to make over $470 million at the box office. That's on a $125 million budget. And very sneakily, it's become the 12th biggest film of 2023. Actually, we go over to the classroom and take a look at this. This is how 2023 has shaped out. Barbie obviously was number one with 1.4 billion. Super Mario number two at 1.3. Oppenheimer just short of that $1 billion mark at 954 million. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at 845 million. Fast X, even though it made no money in North America, internationally, hey, people still love family. It went on to make 714 million. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse did huge compared to its original, making $682 million. The Little Mermaid made $568 million. You might want to refresh that, Jonathan. At number 10, Mission Impossible. Actually, that should have been number 8. Sorry about that. Number 8, I got the numbers wrong. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning made 568. At number 9, Elemental made 486. And right now at number 10, and again, I forgot to correct the numbers there, but at number 10 is Wonka at 471. Now that number is still going up. Now, some of you may be saying, John, why is that count as 2023? It's now 2024 and it's making money now. Remember, box office counts a movie whenever, in whatever year the movie debuted. And Wonka came out in late 2023. So any money it makes in 2024 counts towards 2023. Again, it very quietly is in the top 10. And a lot of people are saying it's going to crack that $500 million mark, which is a lot more than most people ever thought this Wonka movie would make. And honestly, a lot more than a lot of people thought it would make when you saw its opening weekend box office. It didn't have a particularly impressive opening weekend box office. I mean, it was okay. But this is one of those movies that, like the movie right ahead of it, Elemental, very quietly just kept getting more and more box office because word of mouth just kept going around. This is a delightful movie. And I was really happy to see Wonka get the success, but particularly after I saw it. But is it enough for them to want to go back and make another one? And I don't know if there is. I mean, it's definitely a win. They're going to make $200+ million in profit by the time it's all said and done. But is that something you go back for another Wonka film to do? Because let's be honest too, you go back and make another one, you're not going to be able to make it for 125 million. Mm-hmm. Timothy Chalamet's price tag is only going up as he's becoming arguably maybe the go-to actor in Hollywood right now. They're going to want more Oompa Loompas. And the reason they were able to keep it at about 125 million is because as great as he was in this, the reality is he wasn't in a lot of the movie. And I assume if you're going to make another one, it's probably going to be about Wonka now establishing his factory and bringing over the Oompa Loompas and all that kind of stuff. And that's going to make this a more expensive proposition. So would I rule it out that they would do a sequel? No, I won't rule it out. But do I think even if it hits $500 million, which it looks like it might, I don't know that that's quite enough for a Wonka to get a sequel. That, and I don't think Peter King wants to come back to do another one unless, we're talking about a movie that made $800 million. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. On average, it takes about 30 days for a person to break their New Year's resolution. So if saving money was on your 2024 list, your odds aren't looking that great. Luckily, I have a 100% guaranteed way to save you money this year. Just switch to Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for $15 a month. I've told you guys many times that after switching to Mint Mobile, I am spending less than a third on my cell bill than I used to with a major carrier. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All Mint plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And don't worry about having to change phones or numbers. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. So guys, to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bills to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Anyway, Rob, Wonka very quietly became a big hit for the studio. Good on them. Is it enough for them to do a sequel? What do you think?
Well, I think, the value of Wonka as a franchise. So this is the second Warner Brothers, you've got the Gene Wilder original. This is the prequel. There is 2 Willy Wonka books. There's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then there's Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Now, he goes into space, and there's aliens, the Vermicious Knids. And when I was a kid, I loved that book. I read both of those books over and over and over again. Now, I don't know if they could do a Victorian alien space movie with Wonka. I'd watch it, though.
That phrase alone. Can we just can that be the
Can we
pitch?
just simmer on that for
There you go. But I mean, that takes place after Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, after the Gene Wilder, because you see the Great Glass Elevator take off and break through the ceiling, and that's the end of the original movie. But in the second book, they go into space, to a space hotel. Now, to answer your question, John, yes, I think they could make a sequel to this because, look, if this cracks $500 million for this kind of a movie, I mean, relatively inexpensive for a studio picture now at $125 million, because if they make another Wonka film and, you have the director of Paddington, maybe he'll come back, I don't know, but it then makes, you now have a trilogy of movies that exist. I mean, unofficially an official trilogy, but it makes the whole franchise more valuable and viable. I mean, it depends. If you can keep the cost down, you have a good script. Obviously, I think Timothée Chalamet I finally caught up with this movie, and I liked it. Timothée Chalamet is, I think, great in the role. Warner Brothers is in the Timothée Chalamet business. They've got Dune 2 coming out. And I think, if they keep the budget relatively the same, why not? Why not make another one? Is it warranted now? I think it's as they say in TV, it's on the bubble.
Right.
It's
if it made $700 million, I think it probably would have been a no-brainer. They would have found a way to do it.
But if it becomes a huge hit on SVOD or on cable and people watch it and they look at those analytics, very possibly.
Peter King is kind of becoming the master right now. I don't think Wonka is as good as Paddington.
No, right? I don't either.
But what Peter King was able to do again, he's become the master filmmaker of making an audience's heart smile. You watch Paddington and you're just filled with joy, watching that. You're just filled with, your heart smiles watching it. And I found a lot of that same, not to the same degree as Paddington, but that same delightfulness, that same whimsy and wonder and innocence, that Peter King has just become so good at capturing. And I don't know how, but if they do a sequel, not only do you have to get Hugh Grant back, I mean, but I really think you got to get Keegan-Michael Key back again as well. I thought Keegan-Michael Key in this as the police chief was so good. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Is $500 million enough for them to go back and do a sequel to Wonka? I think Rob's right. It's right on the bubble. I don't necessarily think they will. I think they need more of that. But whatever you guys think, let us know down below. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.